Dr. Patrick, and he has a powerful message that he has developed that he's going to be sharing with the world.
I'm an orthopedic surgeon. Patrick Tryance is my name. Very blessed and very fortunate. Love life. I've had a number of experiences. In those life lessons, I've learned to continue to step in my power and to practice that on a daily basis. Many have been quite trying. All of them have been valuable lessons. Grew up in a strong home, 2 beautiful kids, and I'm happy to be here in South Florida doing what I love to do.
I love that spirit of Harriet Tubman for someone who says, it's not enough that I've figured out how to practice my power. I want to reach back and help others and show others how to do the same. You started in college football, and then you played professional football, and then from there...
For a hot second.
How long did you play professional football?
I was in and out before you could say Rumpelstiltskin. Played in 4 or 5 games my junior year, hurt my back, and I ended up getting a scholarship to Nebraska. And by the end of my time there, as we've talked about before, academic All-American, a number of academic accolades, all-conference in football. I grew up kind of in the middle of, my mother wanted me to play piano, and my father kind of pushing me to play football. So my dad was a big football fan, and I wanted to gain his approval. So growing up in Baltimore, I would take lessons at the Peabody Institute. My mother played for the Baltimore Symphony Chorus, and I would get my nails all dirty and play in the backyard before my Saturday morning piano lessons, because I knew the instructor, like my mother, did not want dirty hands on the piano keys, so I was trying to get kicked out. But now I definitely have an appreciation for that musical background. I love jazz, I love classical, I love hip hop, and so I look back and I see that those seeds were planted early by my mother.
These are beautiful things that Dr. Patrick he's lived it. It's not a distant concept or philosophy, but it's actually who he is and how he's lived his life and is living his life today. Even stepping into the speaking arena in order to help others. His body of work that he's created called Practice Your Power, and one is practice, another one is persistence. Let me just tell a little bit about his story, because I think he's very humble and he's not big on tooting his own horn, but he's had quite a few back-to-back blows in his life. And one of the major blows was losing his best friend, his father. And so after that, there was like a period in his life where he didn't want to be a surgeon. He didn't want to practice necessarily through his practice as a medical doctor or even practice his power. And so having to find his way back to himself from a more holistic, balanced space, not someone who's just running around a hospital doing hundreds of patients and just cutting on people and leaving, but really being this person that says, no, I'm going to recreate my reality now that I've had this loss, and I'm going to recreate my whole reality in a way that makes sense for me.
Everything in life has value, everything. And so you talked briefly about the death of my father, who I was very close to. And so I had to make sense of that in some way. And, during his death and the time that he was sick, he died of cancer over a couple of years. And a man who was 67, strong, physically, mentally intimidating, and for me to see him die the way he did was very painful. And I didn't handle it well. I did what I needed to do, which was work. So in taking that time out, again, I had to make sense of what did his death mean. And I had everything, material things, travel, but I didn't have that joy. I didn't have that sense of peace. So I took a step back, took 2 years off, and left medicine altogether, traveled some more, went to the beach, and got myself together mentally to to really feed myself, because you can't give what you don't have. And I just kept giving and giving and giving of myself, thinking that that's what my father would have wanted me to do, and that's what I had learned to do. But then taking a step back and saying, look, I have to feed me first. It's okay to be selfish and to give to others out of my abundance.
Overflow.
Out of my overflow.
Yeah.
Exactly.
I love that. I teach you can't pull anything out of an empty bag. Most high achievers like yourself, clients that I've worked with, we just have this mindset of giving and giving and giving and giving and giving, even to the point of the tank being on E. That's something that I think, I'm so glad that you did, because it's very challenging for leaders and givers to actually take the time to give themselves what they need so that they can give from their overflow and not deplete and burn themselves out to the place of breakdown.
And that time out as well also allowed me to redefine my purpose and what it is that I'm doing, why I'm doing it. And it truly is because it feels good. As simple as that sounds, it does feel, it feels good to give. It feels good to mend a broken bone. It feels good to replace a hip in an elderly grandmother so she can play with her grandson or granddaughter that she's anticipating arriving, or a young athlete who's wants to get back out and compete on the athletic field. That feels good. When I was giving out of, when I was not giving out of my overflow, I was angry, resentful. I felt like what I was giving wasn't appreciated and wasn't seen. But I also know now that I model the way in which I would expect others to treat me. So if I take time out for me and replenish me and set healthy boundaries for me and model that and expect that from others,
Then
I
you
receive
teach
that.
people, you
Absolutely.
teach people how to treat you.
Absolutely.
We all have that indwelling presence inside of us to create our reality, to create peace, to create healing, to create love, to create harmony. And so I believe if you're not creating, then you're dying. That's why I wanted it to just be conversational, just flowing.